Breaking news today, once again, Enoch Burke has been sent back to prison by the judge in his case. It says here, a High Court judge has ordered Enoch Burke to return to prison for contempt after repeatedly trespassing at Wilson's hospital school. Judge Cregan said the issue was not about transgenderism, criticizing Burke's grotesque behavior and the cost of security. So obviously, this case 100% is about the fight back against this woke left-wing neo-Marxist transgenderism that's spreading across the country. They're trying to indoctrinate your kids and they're pushing it on the teachers that are forced to teach this to the kids. He refused to call a 14-year-old them, they, zer, one of these crazy pronouns, which I don't even understand that. At 30 years of age, I still don't even understand what pronouns are. And he refused to do so, so he was sent to prison. He lost his job, publicly humiliated, and has lost his entire livelihood. It doesn't matter if he goes to jail or prison. He's already in jail.
Enoch Burke has once again been sent to prison. None of the Burke family were in court when Mr. Justice Cregan delivered his ruling this morning. The judge immediately outlined that this case was not about transgenderism. He clarified that Mr. Burke had previously been imprisoned and fined for contempt of court because he continues to trespass on the school grounds and not because of his views on transgender issues. He also said that Enoch Burke doesn't just trespass onto school grounds, but that he roams around its corridors. Mr. Justice Cregan said he is an intruder stalking the school, its teachers and its pupils. The court also heard that the school spends €1,000 each week on security. The judge said that showed the grotesque behaviour of a teacher who puts his own ridiculous sense of self above the needs of his pupils. The court also heard how barrister for the school, Rosemary Mallon, submitted that the school just wants to be a school. The judge added that instead of concentrating on educating the young people of tomorrow, they were having to deal with Mr. Burke and his antics. He said security guards had failed to stop him entering the school grounds and there was no longer any option left other than to send him back to prison. He did add that Mr. Burke has the keys to his own prison cell and that if he wishes to purge his contempt, he will be released.
For those who don't know, purge his contempt means if he wishes to basically stop committing the crime of going and trespassing at the school, then he won't go to prison. But you know what I would say to that? Fuck that shit. Put my ass back in prison, because this is the hill that he has to die on, and he will die on this hill. He has lost his entire world because of this case. He doesn't have a life to go back to, guys. He cannot get gainful employment in the state of Ireland. It's not going to happen, lads. The whole country knows about this man now. It's taken over the US. Elon Musk, Donald Trump knows about this case. This guy is a political prisoner living in this country because he refuses to accept this woke transgenderism that's being pushed on kids, mind you. We have a 14-year-old now that's allowed to run riot in the school and actually dictate things to the entire school and the country. I have to be called them, they, zer, or else he'll be upset. The way the judge and the mainstream media portray him in this article is absolutely disgusting as well. They say that he has a ridiculous sense of self. What about the pupils and the students in the school that he's just trying to teach? He just wants to do his job. But now he has to deal with things that are outside of his control. Some kid thinking they're a cat, some kid thinking that they're a they, a them. It's ridiculous, guys. This shouldn't be allowed in classrooms. It should be completely gotten rid of. Pronouns should be banned from schools. And also the barrister for the school, which is a Christian school, by the way, which doesn't allow this crazy shit in the Bible. She said that they just want to focus on educating the young people of tomorrow. But what they're educating the young people of tomorrow in is another story in itself. What are they teaching these kids at this school? I would be very, very careful about putting my kids into any school such as this one, because they're teaching them obviously crazy rhetoric, crazy, disgusting behavior. It just seems evil. This is evil trying to take over the country, and it's got its hold in Ireland. Enoch Burke should never stop fighting back. I mean, this is the hill, like I said, he's going to die on, guys. Like, that's it. His life is ruined. It's over. I mean, this is it, guys. This is it. This is it for him. There's nowhere else he has to go. Okay, whether it's prison, he's already living in prison, guys. You know, there should be a flippin' protest for Enoch Burke in this matter. Of course, there has been in the past before. Doesn't really do anything. The judges don't care. The school doesn't care. The teachers like him. The students like him, apparently. But for some reason, the principal, the people running the school, which is the government of Ireland now, they're involved in this case. They will not let him carry out his duties as a teacher because they can't be seen as being intolerable. like not calling a kid an Apache helicopter is intolerant. Completely disgusting news. Hopefully he gets let out of prison. I would just keep fighting back, honestly. Just never stop fighting, guys. Every single day, push back against this woke ideology. Breaking news from Tuesday, the 18th of November, just this morning. It says another stabbing in Cork City, a woman dead and a man seriously injured. Okay, now it seems like Cork has turned into Stab City. Beforehand, we know Limerick used to be Stab City with all the different gangs and that kind of violent culture that was in Limerick with the sort of rival gangs fighting each other for many, many years. But now it seems like it's regular people that are getting stabbed, sliced up, and it definitely has been a major shift in the crime across the country. Now, we don't have a background of these people. I'm going to read this article. Presumably they're white Irish, okay? But this is crazy stuff. I just reported on another stabbing yesterday in Cork. I don't really hear anything too much about Limerick or the west of Ireland anymore. You know, mostly now these attacks are confined to Dublin and of course the South Cork. It says a woman has died and her husband in a serious condition in the hospital after they were stabbed near their home in Cork City last night. A man in his 20s has been arrested in relation to the incident. Gardaí and emergency services were called to the house on Shrewsbury Downs in Ballylough at around 9 p.m. They found a woman, 59, seriously injured on the street outside. So obviously bleeding profusely, artery cut, something like that. Her husband, who's in his 60s, was also seriously injured. They was both stabbed a number of times. So obviously, seriously dangerous stuff. We have a ton of knife play now. You know, like I said, there's not a major amount of gangland violence. The Gardaí did a good job of cracking down on that stuff over the last 20 years. You know, the Hutch gang and all this different stuff. They've kind of left Ireland now. But what's left in Ireland is this violent streak now. It's not the innocent Ireland we once had, guys. This is a violent society we now live in. The woman was taken to Cork University Hospital where doctors worked to save her life, but she was pronounced dead before midnight. Her husband remains in a serious but stable condition. The man who was arrested was also known to the couple. So he was arrested at the scene once again. So it seems like these people that arrive to people's houses, like the attack that I just said yesterday in Cork, they stab people, they kill people, and then they just wait around to get arrested by the guards. They have no remorse. They have no sort of, you know, escape mechanism to try and run away from the police or run away from, you know, the sort of law and actually try and get away. They just stab people and they just accept their fate. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's just like ruthless violence, man. You kind of start to wonder, like, do these people, obviously they know each other, there's some sort of background to this, you know, why are these people getting stabbed so much? It's just ridiculous stuff, guys. I mean, this is like every day. I report on stabbings every day in Ireland now. It's crazy stuff. I couldn't believe when I saw another one just last night. I reported another one on Monday morning. The next and last news story is one of the worst I've ever seen as well. This is Snapchat predator jailed for sexually assaulting two very young girls across Ireland. The two girls were 14 and 10. And just like the City West attacker, this guy was a 22-year-old man, and he met these women, groomed them on the internet, on Snapchat, and then he met them, snuck into their house, and sexually assaulted them. You know, this is the sick, predatory nature that we have in this country now. And I don't know where it's coming from, because I never used to hear about this stuff years ago. You know, this wasn't very prevalent, whether it's social media, the internet, pushing this sort of culture. Who the hell knows? We're going to have to ask a psychologist or a psychiatrist to come on and delve into this stuff, because this is above my pay grade right here. But we're going to do a review of this. It says David O'Sullivan, 22 years old, had been jailed for 9 years for grooming, sexually abusing two young girls he met on Snapchat, as well as possessing thousands of images and videos of child sexual abuse. The Central Criminal Court heard that David O'Sullivan, previously of Balloch Road in Cork and St. Vincent's Avenue in Woodkey, Galway, I was just driving past there, groomed the girls for months before meeting them and sexually assaulting them. The girls, who are from different parts of the country and are unknown to each other, were aged 14 and 10. Oh man, this is again, you know, people start to kick up, oh, why aren't there riots for this person? Well, the problem with this is an Irish guy. It's hard to basically police this kind of crime, okay? When they're in the country, when they've born and raised here their whole life, it's hard to police this kind of crime. But like the guy at the City West Hotel, he should get flipping life in prison, 90 years. I don't know why he only got 9 years. 9 years for sexually abusing people. He's a pedophile, basically. He's a child molester, and he will get dealt with in prison. I mean, these people will get finished in prison. Like, this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with, guys. He's out after 9 years. He should be in jail for 90 years. I mean, why are we so lenient on crime? This is what I want to talk about. This is the left woke Marxist agenda, guys. This is the left-wing people pushing their NGOs on the sort of judge, so the judge becomes more lenient with the sentencing. The judge to sentence this guy to 100 years, or flipping death penalty, because this kind of crime is inexcusable, guys. After his arrest last March, Gardaí found 1,600 files of downloaded CP abuse material on a mobile phone belonging to him. And then Justice Melanie Greeley imposed a sentence of 11.5 years for the possession of that material and the sexual assault. She suspended the final 2.5 years on condition that he keep the peace. Detective Inspector told John Berry SC prosecuting that Sullivan, aged 19 when he first met the first victim in June 2022 on Snapchat, and he told her he was 16, so obviously lying about his age. She was aged 13 at the time. He snuck into her bedroom and the child's mother discovered him in the bedroom and threw him out. They were clothed, but the mother alerted the Gardaí. The child's family at this point were reluctant to press charges, and he was given an adult caution. Again, guys, failure of the system. That's a failure of the Gardaí right there, guys. He should have been arrested immediately as a 19-year-old sneaking into a 13-year-old's room, posing as a 16-year-old, only getting a caution. The child's parents didn't even prosecute this guy, so he got let off scot-free, guys. And he went on then to sexually assault another girl who was 10, even younger. So this is his fault, absolutely, but this is also partly fault of the Gardaí and the police, because if they were to actually put him in prison for that crime and sentence him 10 years, he wouldn't have gone on to commit more crime. You understand, guys? That's why the law is good. If you arrest people at that time, before anything more happens, after the first crime is committed, then you have a better chance of this guy not committing any more crime down the line, okay? So, complete failure in the system right there. Complete head-to-toe failure in the system. Because he then continued to contact her, and then he continued to actually sexually assault her again, and this other 10-year-old. And this is the kind of crime we have in the country. The City West crime is in some regard worse because he had a deportation order, but it's again a failure in the system. It shouldn't have happened because he shouldn't have been here. This guy shouldn't have actually sexually assaulted another girl, this 10-year-old, because he should have been in prison to begin with, okay? So if they actually did their job and arrested these people and put them in prison for a long time, they wouldn't be committing these acts, guys. It's like we're very lenient on stuff, and when you're very lenient on crime, it doesn't get better. It actually just gets worse. It's called like the escalation, especially with this sort of predatory action. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys. If that's a fair report, I think it is. If you want to see more from me and not the mainstream media giving their bullshit left-wing twinge on things, hit the join link underneath the video. I have tons of membership-only videos. You can go check them out there. I love you guys all. Stay safe, stay free. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.